What's up, you guys? It's Tati. We need to talk about this Continental Classic thing. It's getting more confusing every show. Like it just seems like they're making this shit as they go along. I don't know what it is. So first things first. The Continental Classic is a tournament where we have 12 men, 6 on each league. They are facing every person on each color league. So if you are in the gold league, you're facing everyone in the gold league. If you're in the blue league, you're facing everyone in the blue league. Cool, we got the basics down pat. Now, what do you win when all this is said and done? The winner will be determined at the World's End pay-per-view. So the person with the most points on each league will go against each other at the pay-per-view, and then the person who wins that match will not only be the winner of the Classic tournament, they will also have the new AEW Continental title. They will also have the New Japan Strong Openweight title, and for whatever freaking reason, they will also win the Ring of Honor World title. The Ring of Honor thing shouldn't even be on that, but that's another topic for another day. So now, that's what you win. You get 3 titles. And as of a couple of days ago, they started saying that whoever wins this tournament will also be AEW's first Triple Crown champion. And I kind of thought that was not true, because we already have 2 people who has had 3 titles in AEW. Kenny Omega being the first one, and then Rey Fenix being the second person to do so. And so by definition, they have held 3 titles in AEW that makes them Triple Crown champions. However, according to AEW's new definition of what a Triple Crown champion is, you have had to have won these specific 3 titles that are on the line for this tournament. So what that means is, by definition, based off what they've been seeing this past week, Kenny Omega and Rey Fenix are not Triple Crown champions. I don't know what they are according to AEW, but they're not that. So you have to have the Continental title, the Ring of Honor title, and the New Japan Strong Openweight title to be a Triple Crown champion. Okay, I guess we solved that issue, because I kept thinking that's not true. Then they kind of went through what that means on Collision. That was weird. Whatever. So now, main event on Collision was Brody King versus Eddie Kingston. And here they go. Nigel specifically states that Eddie Kingston has relinquished the titles, meaning they do not belong to Eddie Kingston anymore. In a way, it's vacated, So they didn't use the word vacated. They said relinquished, which also means that he gave him up. Okay. And I thought that was kind of a little bit weird, because I kept thinking, so is he the champion or not? Or if Brody beats him, will he automatically just lose the title? They never really explain what happens if Eddie Kingston even lose one match in this tournament. But they said, hey, that, he relinquished the title, so they're no longer his. When the match was over, Eddie Kingston lost, Brody win. It was a really great match, by the way. Nigel comes on and say, now Eddie Kingston is one step closer to losing his titles? Didn't you just say before the match started 20 minutes ago that he relinquished the titles and they're no longer his? So how is he closer to losing the titles that are not his now, when he pretty much already lost it the second he pretty much sacrificed those titles to be part of this stupid tournament thing? That does not make sense at all. So now, everyone on the blue league has gone against someone, and everyone on the gold league has gone against someone, something like that, whatever. So for the blue league, everyone has gone against each other except Bryan Danielson and Andrade El Idolo. Now, if you guys know, they did come up for storyline purposes that it was either Okada or Orange Cassidy that broke his orbital bone, which is not true. I said it before. Andrade was the one who did it a few days before on Collision. But for storyline purposes, they are blaming it on either Orange Cassidy or Okada. So now These two are the only two on their league, the Blue League, to not go against anyone. And instead of putting them against each other, since they have not gone against anyone, they are already putting them against other people and not these two together. For what reason, I'm not sure. And the next time, the first time that Bryan Danielson will actually be in this tournament will be on Saturday coming. And it's like, I knew it. Y'all knew this motherfucker was not ready to be in the ring, so y'all pushed it 2 weeks before he actually gets involved in this tournament. And it's like, why are we doing that? Why not just say, Bryan, sorry, bro, you're one of the best, but we can't put you on this tournament. You're not ready. Y'all keep putting him out there. Y'all overdoing it with this guy in the ring, and he's had back-to-back injuries. And it shows here that y'all pushed it 2 weeks just to make sure he doesn't get in the ring, try to give his face a little bit of time to heal or whatever. So I get what y'all doing, but if he's not ready, he's not ready. Leave him alone, let him heal up or whatever, and then he can go ahead and face Okada at Wrestle Kingdom, and I guess maybe he'll be fine by then. Another month or so would have already gone by. But you guys are putting him in a tournament for what reason? I don't want to see him win. I love Bryan. He's one of my favorites of all time. But if he ain't ready, he ain't ready. And it is what it is. The tournament is really... They're putting too much on the line for this. And there's really nothing... to really make people feel hyped up. Now, some of these matches coming up is really interesting. We got Jay White versus Swerve Strickland. That's going to be on Dynamite. Sure, I want to see that. I want to see Swerve win. He better win. Matter of fact, I want Swerve to win the whole thing. But if they're doing all this just so Bryan Danielson could win, at this point, I don't even see Eddie Kingston winning this shit. So the titles, they ain't even his anymore anyway. But if they already have that person in mind, Bryan Danielson, forget it. Forget it. Y'all overdoing it with this guy. I understand this is supposed to be his last year as a full-time wrestler. Remember, they keep saying full-time wrestler for a reason, because I'm pretty sure on a part-time basis he will come back, but not full-time. So they say it every time, his last year as a full-time wrestler. So now here we have this tournament, and y'all already just trying to, Bryan Danielson, your face is still broken. Let's keep it another 2 weeks before we can actually put you in this tournament. Just leave it alone. Get his ass out and put other people. Matter of fact, I'm really surprised that we don't have younger talent on this. Daniel Garcia is the only real young guy who hasn't necessarily experienced as much as everyone else on this tournament. Why not? Y'all have saved this tournament for some of the younger cats. Wardlow, Takeshita, Powerhouse Hobbs, Daniel Garcia could have stayed on there. There's a lot of these younger guys that could have really used a thing like this. They could have won the Continental title. And if they had to defend all these titles within all three of these promotions, then whatever, that gives them experience. But y'all put a whole bunch of people in this with nothing but experience. And these younger guys are sitting back there not doing anything. Powerhouse Hobbs, walking around with Uncle Don, which I actually think it works for him, going around talking about he's big, he's black, he's jacked, whatever the hell it is. And I want to see more. Y'all could have been using this guy to go against other people in this tournament, but instead y'all put all y'all established big stars on this and wonder why we're not seeing growth within the younger talent in the company. I don't know why we wasted a lot of these slots for Moxley, Claudio, all these guys. They've been there and done almost everything. I would have just put other people on this tournament. But whatever the situation is, obviously 3 titles. You win 3 titles, just overkill. If it was 2, maybe. You're already winning the new title. You're going to be the first person to hold the AEW Continental title. So all this other extra shit was just not needed. And now you guys are saying that Eddie Kingston has basically vacated those titles. I did check online to see the website if it shows as vacant. It doesn't. It still shows that Eddie Kingston still has the Ring of Honor title. So it is what it is, because everything else on the website is updated. And to me, I just feel like we're making this up as we go along, right? like Tony Khan be trying to rush shit and like not necessarily think too much about all the details. When he first gave the details of this tournament, he was like kind of talking out of his ass, didn't have enough coffee, and just was trying to figure out what it is to say, and he confused the shit out of everybody. And now every time we have another few matches on this tournament, you're getting more confused as to what is going on. In my opinion, I can give two shits about a tournament at this point. I do want to see a lot of these great matches as they go along. And I want to see who it is that's going to win all three of these titles in the whole freaking tournament. And what does that mean for the person who wins it? Like, what happens then? This person's going to go from promotion to promotion and defend all these titles. If you lose one title, if you lose one match, do you lose them all? Or you just lose that one particular title? They've never been so specific about what's at stake here for the person who actually wins this whole thing and what kind of champion they would be. I have no clue, you know? If people aren't interested in this tournament, I get why, because there's just too much foolishness going on. But either way, we're still going to get a lot of great matchups here. And I just really hope that at the end of this, it's not going to be someone like Bryan Danielson or Jon Moxley or Claudio to win it. I want to see some new guys getting big opportunities. I'll take Andrade winning it. I don't have a problem with that. Andrade has really not gotten much since he's been with AEW. Keith Lee could have been on this shit. Why wasn't he on this? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, right now, people just don't understand what it is when it comes to them not using everyone to their fullest potential. If you want to use the same group of people who's already held major titles and all that stuff to do every little thing and kind of leave everybody in the dust, you're going to be wondering why y'all not doing well in ratings. You're going to be wondering why people don't care to buy your shit and your pay-per-views and all that stuff, because you're not giving everyone a fair opportunity because you keep giving it to the same fucking people. Guys, thanks so much for watching my Black Lady rant. Swerve better win this whole thing. That's all that matters to me at this point.